we are Eric and Amanda, and we quit our jobs and left everything we knew behind to travel the world.
We're bringing you daily videos, so if you want to join in, make sure you subscribe and share with your friends.
Now, we left our Airbnb.
It's a little windy out.
We left our Airbnb for our third day of our New Zealand road trip to come an hour out of the way to Tawhai Falls. This place is right off the road, and we didn't even know we were here. We just kind of backtracked a little bit.
Yeah, our GPS took us just, on the highway, and so we didn't know how to get here, but luckily we found a scenic route and just took a detour and landed on this Waiapunga beast.
Yeah, there wasn't even a sign for the falls. Today is our day 3 of our New Zealand road trip. All the weather channels are pretty much saying that it's going to pour down rain all day. It would have been really nice to see the Waiapunga Falls with the drone, but there's no way in this rain. The winds are going really, really fast, and it's a very fine raindrop. It's not thick raindrop, so instantly it just clouds up the screen. Even then, the waterfall was still really beautiful. We have a lot more stuff to go do, which means a lot more driving. We drove an hour out of the way to come see this. I still think it was worth it. It's a really beautiful waterfall. It's really cool how it's just a flat plains with a stream that just comes and then just drops right down into this valley. But hopefully as we go south, we get a little break from the weather.
We just drove a mile up the road, and if you can believe it, it stopped raining already. The weather in New Zealand is so different. It changes so frequently. It's crazy. But still, it would be raining, I'm sure, if we drove back to the waterfall. Now the plan is we're heading to another waterfall. We were gonna do an alpine crossing trek, but because of the weather is so rainy, we're not sure if that's gonna happen. We're basically just gonna play it by ear. Really loving this trip so far in New Zealand. I think it's really cool that we can explore inland in New Zealand, whereas in Australia, we were really focused on the coast. However, we really are missing out. We're gonna have to come back and explore the South Island of New Zealand because we really wanted to see the Tongariro Falls where all the little seal pups play in the waterfall, as well as do some whale watching. So that'll have to be tabled until next time we come.
We've just made it to Tawhai Falls.
Also called Gollum'S Pools.
Now it's called Gollum'S Pools because this was actually filmed in The Lord of the Rings. When Gollum goes down to the secret forbidden pools and he starts eating the fish and they almost kill him, but then they don't. Yeah.
So if you can't go to Hobbit Town, next best thing, go to Gollum'S Pools.
It is raining like cats and dogs out here. It's gonna be like this all day. We did have an alpine, cross a mountain walk that we had planned, which is really close to here, but there's no way we're going to be able to do it. It's just too wet. So after this, we're going to start heading towards New Plymouth, where we have hopefully some more things to do.
Now we're going to switch to the GoPro.
Boom! Right now I'm going to try to get behind the waterfall. It's a little bit of a scary climb though. I've just made it a bit closer to the pool. This waterfall's pretty awesome. The color of this water is just a beautiful bluish green. This place is freaking cool. And look at how much power that waterfall is slamming into the water. This is an awesome place. Woo! I'm gonna try to get closer with the GoPro. My legs got so wet from all of the spray coming out over there, but that place is just so beautiful. It is incredible. Well, I better head back to Amanda.
ourselves lucky because we tend to travel during low season when we pretty much have every place to ourselves. Well, we must be lucky or something. We only saw one other couple. Maybe this trend started when we got married in Jamaica and we went during hurricane season, and then we went 3 more times and kept the tradition going and went during hurricane season. But if you survive a hurricane, you can get a free vacation, they told us. So there's the pros and cons, pros and cons. We just hopped in the car after Gollum'S, and it was a 2-hour drive from our Airbnb, and we were really tired. But after experiencing the falls and kind of relating it back to Lord of the Rings, because we both are really big fans, we are fresh and energized. Then we checked our Google Maps, and it's another 3 hours to our next Airbnb in New Plymouth. But our first stop there is going to be at Wilkie's Pools, so we're going to explore another adventure. So from now until then, we're gonna hang out, relax, look at the beautiful scenery, eat some snacks, and listen to some jams.
So guys, we still have another 2 hours until we make it to New Plymouth, and we did not have enough gas to make it the whole way, so we stopped at a gas station and picked up some gas, but also on the way, picked up another meat pie. This one is a steak, a peppered steak meat pie, and the gravy's really thick in it. The crust is actually really good and flaky as well. Look at that. That is delicious. Now, I would have to say that the last one was probably better, so it is still holding on to the title of the best in the Bay. Now, it was only one of 2 shops that was in the Bay, so pretty easy to get that title. But it's really good. That one had a bunch of minced lamb. This one is just a peppered steak. There's not much else to go on there, but the gravy has a really good depth of flavor too. But yeah, meat pie. So delicious. There is definitely a reason why this is New Zealand's national food, because it is amazing. The pastry, the meats, the gravies, really good. Well, we're gonna finish this up and then we're gonna continue heading on the road. So Amanda and I are currently driving to New Plymouth by route of Highway 43. Now this place is a very, very windy, very skinny road. There are a lot of one-ways because of road slippages, and also all the bridges are one way. You have to, certain side will have to stop on the other side to make sure no one's coming. The other person can go right through. But I just had to stop up here because we are seriously up in like the misty mountains. Look at these rolling green hills. You've got a lot of cloud cover right now because it is still pretty rainy. You have all these sheep and all these cows like walking across the mountains. This place is picturesque. And you gotta think, someone lives here. Like, these hills are people's homes, and this place is incredibly beautiful.
Traveling on State Highway 43 in New Zealand on our road trip, and the road is crazy. We've been coming up with all different types of names because it's dangerous. It's very windy. There's a lot of one-ways. There are even some roads that are 2-lane but then turn into one without a sign. A lot of the bridges are 1 lanes as well, and now we just ventured onto a gravel road, which is really interesting. We're traveling on this for 60 miles. And it is very insane. There have been a lot of falling rocks and debris, and with the weather the way it is, I'm not that surprised, but it is super sketch. So if you are coming out here, make sure you leave yourself plenty of time, and you're not in a hurry, and you're just taking it in for what it is, because we've had to drive really slow just to make sure, because there's a lot of windy roads. Just saw a van and I screamed and went, ah, because I wasn't expecting anyone, and there really is hardly enough room for 2 cars. Jason and his mom were warning us to drive really careful and be cautious. A lot of the roads outside the main highways are very narrow, and we can definitely see that today. They said that there's been a lot of actual fatalities and accidents because of people trying to pass others when they shouldn't, or there's not enough room. So like I said, be very cautious and take your time. We just arrived to our Airbnb. We are in a cozy little cottage overlooking the hills, and it's gorgeous. Google Maps said that it would take 3 hours to get to this journey, and we actually had some other stops that we'd wanted to make, but unfortunately it took 6 hours due to the weather and the windy roads. But the good news is we found a pizza place that had takeout pizza for only $6.99, and we figured we might as well enjoy ourselves before we head back to Asia, and where it's really hard to get our yummy favorite foods. We're gonna chow down on this pizza and relax after such a long day of driving. Thank you so much for watching, and see you around the world. Bye!